Okay, we'll get started now. Again, welcome to Balluff's final installment of our total air prevention tutorial. So today what we're going to do is cover a number of applications of exhibiting air proofing, and hopefully these applications will provide you ideas. So the first example we have is with our BVS. This is our Balluff vision sensor, where we're looking at a date code. So on this particular bottle, we're looking here for a date code. So through our vision sensor, you can see very clearly the date code is present. So if that date code wasn't there, that would not be allowed to circulate into the consumable market, and would be a scrap piece, which could have a bad effect on a batch that's been released into the market. Other ideas where we can look at using our Balluff vision sensor is for cap inspection, and this opens up a market to you in the packaging area, pharmaceuticals, medical, and any other area that does bottling systems. So that could be in the food and beverage industry as well. So what can we do with our vision sensor is, well, we can certainly detect the presence or absence of the cap. Customers will want to make sure that the cap is correctly seated. So if it's too high, then that could cause leakage. If it's too low, that could cause damage to the cap and that it's too tightly torqued. Or if it's cocked to one side, that could also cause leaking problems and cause contamination to the product that's inside the bottle. Thirdly, the security ring, if that's missing or if it's cut or broken, we'll want to detect that to ensure that the product is safe for our customers, consuming customer. And in some cases, there may be different types of caps for a common bottle to signify different products. So is it the right product for the right application? Mentioned here, we can look at that a little further down the line, is the proper feed of the security ring can also be monitored. Here is an example of, again, the correct seating of the cap, the type of vision sensor that's been used. And you'll note here in the center that there's an IP67 enclosure that the vision sensor resides in. So as they are able to adhere the IP ratings of the environment that the vision sensor is to be installed in. In this case as well, they're using a background light. Just the back plate here is being used as a background light. The next application here is talking about a security ring. And this is an emulation here of our inspecting the presence or absence or a damaged security ring. And note that we're able to do that inspection up to 5.5 parts per second, which is rather high speed. The next slide here is actually a quick little video of that application. So you'll see that we have a gate sensor here, our BGL sensor, and that's triggering our lighting and our vision camera to be inspecting that particular product. Well, certainly pharmaceutical is a great application for looking for the presence or absence of a security seal. And this is just that. Here you can see the security seal on a cap has been breached. Our vision sensor is able to detect the presence or absence of that seal. In this application, we're ensuring that it's the correct cap on the type of product that the customer is producing. You could have different colored caps on a common bottle or slightly different shapes. So we'll want to ensure that the correct cap is on the correct bottle for either safety's sake or from a marketing standpoint. In this case here, we're showing security rings, and also it's a security ring and a handle that's traveling on this conveyor. and they'll want to make sure that this security ring is orientated in the correct way. So we're able to detect on the fly that the target is correctly orientated. And in this example, we have another video for you. In this example, we were competing against both Omron and Cognex, and we were found to have the better solution out of the three vendors. So whether it's right side up or backwards, we're able to detect on the fly the correct orientation of the security ring and handle. The next application is also food application. In this case, we have pretzels moving down a chain link conveyor. In the bottom of this device, we have a sodium hydroxide solution, so essentially a salted solution that's being sprayed over top of the pretzels. And we want to have a level control application where we're able to detect both high and low level, so that we have a proper amount of material in that container. And the way Balluff is able to do that is using our smart level capacitive sensors. So our smart level capacitive sensors will not false pulse with seeing foam, nor will it falsely trigger if you have a viscous material that's adhering to the wall of the container. Using our smart level sensors, we're able to insert that directly into that container to detect the high and low levels. In another food application, we have an example of where we're dispensing a chocolate icing material onto a product. Capacitive sensor is coming in contact with the chocolate icing. So in that case, we'll need to make sure that sensing device conforms to food applications. We can also see that in this application, the temperature is 60 degrees Celsius, so we need something to be able to withstand that higher ambient type temperature environment. So Balluff have food-safe sensors, specifically capacitive sensors. Their PTFE or Teflon-coated sensors are able to be used in food-grade type applications. Here's a cosmetic application where we're looking through a sight glass inside a hopper to look at the high level of cream in that hopper. As we mentioned earlier, the Balluff Smart Level capacitive sensors will ignore viscous material adhering to the walls of a container and will actually look for the true level. So this is a perfect application for Balluff capacitive Smart Level sensors. In this application, we have an industrial cleaning applications. Typically, this is in a machining environment. This solution certainly has foaming characteristics. So with that foaming characteristic, that kind of points us in the direction of using, again, the Balluff Smart Level sensors. The Smart Level sensors give you a huge edge. This is a patented technology that Balluff has that none of the other capacitive sensor manufacturer is able to achieve. Note as well, the temperature rating is up to 60 degrees Celsius. Going back to vision, we've got some examples of bottle inspection. Here we're going to look at beer bottles. So in this case, we have a number of tasks that the customer would like achieved. One is to look at the mouth of the bottle and the bottom of the bottle for chip. We want to look for contamination on the bottle itself. We want to look for foreign materials that are inside the bottle. So typically we will find cigarette butts and bottle caps that are shoved into the bottom of the bottle. And of course we want to look for cracks in the bottle and the wear of the bottle from a cosmetic standpoint. So we're able to achieve these, again, dependent on the positioning of the sensor, the type of lighting to use. In this case, we can be looking at the inner neck of the bottle, our outer neck inspection of the bottle. So we can do both inner and outer neck inspection of the bottle. And note here that when we're doing inner neck inspection of the bottle, the LED or the lighting is coming from the bottom. When we were doing the other type of inspection, lighting was from the top. Here we're looking at inspecting the bottom of the bottle. So we have a background light. BVS would be at a 90-degree angle. And now looking for foreign objects that are inside the bottle. The same type idea is a light at the other side of the bottle, and the BVS at a 90-degree angle, about 150 millimeters apart. There's some screenshots of that application. Here we're looking for contamination of the bottle using two BVSs at a given angle with the same type of lighting on the other side of the bottle. And this gives you an internal shot of what the vision sensor is seeing. So again, what we want to do is just expose to you different applications to give you a sense of confidence that Balluff is certainly more than just a company that provides sensor to automotive. Here we're looking at the wear of the bottle. As the bottle travels through a conveyance line, it's rubbing against the rails and causing the scuffing. So once this gets to a certain degree, the beverage maker wants to dispense and get rid of those bottles where they can have a newer product circulated to their customers. Other applications, again, going back to our capacitive sensors, you've heard before that Balluff has a very extensive line of capacitive sensors, and most certainly is the broadest line of capacitive sensors that I've seen. Here's an application where it's in the dairy industry in a autoclave. The capacitive sensor is inserted directly into the machine and communicates back to an external amplifier. So again, it's more than machine control. This brings Balluff into the process side of manufacturing. In this case, we're looking at a machine that's manufacturing pretzels, and what they're showing is how RFID is used into this type of manufacturing. So the RFID tag ensures that the proper gripper and table is mounted, as depending on the product that they're manufacturing, there would be different grippers and different tables used. Before they manufacture that particular product, they're able to confirm that the right gripper and table is assembled onto that manufacturing line. So this kind of goes into RFID for proper tool change. In this case here, you'll see a row of BVS cameras that are looking down the neck of ice cream waffle cones. We want to make sure that the shape of the wafer is proper and that it's not damaged, or that it's there. This way, they're able to ensure that they're not dispensing good product into wasted material or damaged material. So on this particular application, there were 10 BVSs in a row on this line inspecting every filling station of where that waffle cone is present. The next application was a job that was done actually here in Canada for PepsiCo. The customer was using a competitive line of fork-style sensor that was not being reliable or repeatable in detecting the neck of the bottle. That customer put in a Balluff BGL sensor that's designed for clear object detection. That product has proven to be reliable without any need of adjustment or fault. So that's been a great success for Balluff, and now Balluff is their plant standard. And this is an application showing Balluff's plunger procs being used in a MIG weld cell. So the customer had an issue where the sensor was positioned very close to a workpiece. So as the MIG welder came by, there was direct heat transfer from the workpiece to the sensor. And over time, in a very short time, there would be heat damage that would be transferred to the sensor. So this was so severe that there were only a few cycles of operation before the sensor failed. So to get around that problem, the customer began to bypass the sensor, which obviously defeated any airproofing efforts that the company had in place. So to get around that problem, the inductive sensor was replaced with our plunger procs, which you see here. And when this particular plate was placed onto this fixture, it depressed the plunger procs, causing that device to turn on. So since they've done that, there's been no new failures. They're running their full production shifts without fail, and there's been no need to bypass any of their airproofing.